So I ghostwrite, but I also really help them come up with the idea, because what people don't realize is the book is all about marketing. You know what I'm saying? So it's about like, yo, how am I gonna market this book to help bring attention to everything else you're doing? You know what I'm saying? So like for me, when I wrote my first book, it was all about, I wanted to do speaking. I wanted to go, you know what I mean, go to schools and all that. So I had to write a book that would attract people who want to hire speakers. You know what I'm saying? And then when I started like ghostwriting books, I had to write a book that's gonna help people make 6-7 figures off their book. You know
so wait, you did 14, that's with ghostwriting, but you got what, 8 of your own or 14?
No, I got 14 of my own, and then I've done, I've done like, 55 ghostwritten books?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was telling my man from Philly, I was telling him about that but you don't even have to be a ghostwriter. You can, like nowadays, it could be your book written by somebody else.
Yeah.
Like my man in Baltimore, he
all the celebrities do that shit.
Yeah, he wrote Carmelo book.
Yeah.
So it's like Carmelo
with
written,
right, such and such. Yep.
Nah, that shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yo,
can we move this to the middle a little bit?
Like Ross not writing none of his books. You know what I'm saying? So it always say Rick Ross with whoever. You know what I'm saying? Whoever's the person who wrote that shit.
That's hard.
You know what I mean?
We ready, Kyron? Let's get this shit popping, man.
That's you.
Yo, what's popping? You know what time it is? Your boy, Mr. J Hill. J Hill Podcast. Special edition of the podcast today. First of all, we're in a new studio. It's your first time seeing it. My first guest with this. I got a thing for like first times and first guest type vibe. So we're gonna wish that on us now. We're gonna pray that on us. You feel me? So Ash Cash is in the building.
What up?
Bestseller author.
Yes, sir.
I mean, Earn Your Leisure. Inside the Vote with Ash Cash.
Yes,
philanthropist,
yep.
Entrepreneur.
Yep.
I mean, millionaire, and I mean the made multi-millions. You know, a lot of niggas say they millionaires when they ain't really make it. Like their company might have grossed it or netted. I don't know the right terminology.
Yeah, might have grossed it,
but they ain't really
the net. They ain't get cash.
And that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Multi-millionaire here. I mean, did I miss anything?
Probably. I mean, father, husband. Yeah. That's, you know what I mean.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
In my notes, I tried to freestyle it, but that was the first thing I wanted.
100%.
That's the first thing I wanted to say.
Yeah.
So, Ash Cash has been. First of all, how you doing? Thank you for
blessed,
pulling up,
brother. I appreciate you for having me, man. I've been seeing you cooking, so when I got the invitation, I said, all right, it's good money. You know what I'm trying to say? I said,
no. First of all, bro, you from New York?
Yes, sir. Harlem.
You from the projects? I'm from the projects.
Yes, sir.
So, but outside of the projects, you from New York, so you already got that a certain type of bravado about you.
Yes, sir.
Right? You got that aggressive in your face, just personality. That's how you are.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
Right. But you moved to the A.
Yeah.
How has that hurt you, and how has that helped you?
I don't think it hurt at all.
Nothing.
Free lunch. Respectfully. Respectfully. Free lunch. Respectfully. Because you gotta, I'm just saying.
I'm with you.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, because look, because in New York, there's just a level of everybody on it. Grandma on it, everybody already. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so you come from an environment of like competition. Everybody's competing. Everybody's trying to be the best. Nobody's trying to really help each other. Because it's only one spot, right? So if you do music, I want to be the best, the greatest of all time. Right. If you're the finance guy, I want to be the best finance guy, right? And so when I came to Atlanta, it was like, yo, everybody has the spirit of unity. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody wants to help. So even if we do the same thing, you still like, yo, I want to give you the play.
Facts.
So when I say free lunch, it's like, yo, you don't even gotta really come down here and figure nothing out. All you gotta do is have a level of work ethic, and you will be successful. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you're willing to do the work, see up top in New York, you can have all the work ethic you want and be broke. Like you could grind. I'm talking about like I know dudes who grind 5 years straight and still pop. Yo, you come down to Atlanta and you come with that same like work ethic, like people will see you working and be like, oh nah, do this instead, do that. And so my success was like exponentially coming here because I was surrounded by people, multimillionaires who were freely giving me the game, saying, yo, just do this one little tweak, and then it just helped me skyrocket and go to the next level.
It's crazy because like you watch you read these self-help books, you watch the podcasts with people motivation. It's a little different because like I ain't in that space, but I'm around it, right?
Yep.
So just follow me.
Yep.
But you, cause you in that motivational speaking space, you feel me? But you watch a lot of that, and coming from where we come from, right? You've been in it for a while now, but coming from where you come from, niggas can't really hear that. They, like I'm not trying to hear that.
Yeah.
So you hear and you like,
yeah.
But it's real,
It's 100%.
and you don't understand it until you move out of your element.
100%.
You talked about how you was in a bank, and when you was working in a bank, and you met the black guy who really showed you that you can get it.
Absolutely, he read everything.
He was like, "Yo, now I know that I can get it."
Yeah.
It wasn't that I doubted myself before. Right. It's just now I see it.
Right, because that's the thing about seeing stuff, and that's why like in my first book, Mind Right, Money Right, 10 Laws of Financial Freedom, I got a something that I call See More, Be More, right, and it's really about. If you don't have access to stuff, right? So that's why getting in a room, being in proximity, like that's real stuff, right? Because at the end of the day, if you don't see it, and think about this, we grew up in the projects, and all I was told, right, for all my life, yo, you're gonna be dead or in jail by 25. You're gonna be dead or in jail by 25. You're gonna be dead or in jail by 25. You're gonna be dead. So that's all I kept hearing. So I'm not caring about the future. I'm living summer by summer, right? In the P's, we got, yo, if we made it to September, we good, right? Because we knew the summertime, summer's hot, dudes gonna get locked up, you gonna get shot. Like so each summer you just wanted to get from summer to September. You get back to September, you good. Wintertime, you find a joint, you mean, you lay up, right? You good. But summertime was hot. So now in your head you being told this, you're being told this. But then when you see something else, you see somebody else who's 25, who's made a lot of money. You see somebody 30, you like, wait, hold on, they been lying to me, B. and when you look at them, they don't even got your pedigree. You like, yo, like, you not even built, bro. Like, you not even built. Like, when I see dudes that got money, I have a vision, right? Because where I come from, right, you got to be a certain way to have money. Like, you just, like, not anybody could get money. Like, it's you know, there's a portion that's sanctioned for dudes. Like, you have to have all these check marks, and if you got that check mark, then you the general.
Not the one you can buy.
Right.
The one you got to earn.
The one you got to earn. Where we from. But then you start seeing, and you like, yo, you're not even cut like that at all, and you got bread. I said, oh, this is, you know what I'm saying? And so that opened up my mind, and now the good thing about having your mind open, Einstein said this. He said, a mind that is stretched can never go back to its original size. So once you're able to see something, you can't unsee it.
It's over. Now I want that.
So now if I see a young dude getting money, I'm like, yo, I could get money too. And then I start believing it, and then when I do it, then it's like, oh, like nothing. Think about like Pac, right? Pac got shot 4 times, and now he thought he was invincible because he's like, yo, if I can survive this, I can survive anything, right? So that's and so you got to think about that's on a negative side, right? Where a dude get into situations and then use that to change his belief system. But it works on the positive side too. Like if you see something and then you actually like think about it and you do it, like yo, nothing can stop. Like right now, I don't think there's nothing on this planet that I can't attain. Like nothing. Like there's nothing that I can't put my mind to and do it. If I don't have it, it's just because I don't really want it.
But wait, even you know it's crazy because I don't want to give that one scenario for niggas coming from the project, right? Because we both in the project, but there's another side too, right? Yeah. So coming from the project, you might not be in the streets and making it from summer to winter might not be your mantra, right? Right. Or they saying we ain't gonna make it to 21. That might not be your lifestyle. You might similar to me because I was from the hood, but I was never of the hood. And what that mean was like, you know, like I came from there, but I always wanted out. Right. So for those guys, right, even it's still trapped. Yeah. And I'm trying to paint a picture because they still say like, you know, you get a job, you live good, you can take care of your family. Yeah. But that ain't. It's still like peanuts. Right. It's like hanging with, I don't know, like we heard this before, like a chick that's dating a millionaire, right? So he giving her scraps because he can afford it. It's the same thing. It's like that's what they teach us. That's okay. You know, go get your job, take care of your family, live paycheck to paycheck, and I'm doing good because I survived. Right. I made it past 21. Right. But then, like you said, you come here, you see young guys, you see 30-year-olds that's making bank.
I'm talking about crazy.
And they having fun. Right. They doing what they want to do. Right. And you see that, bro, my life is bigger than those 4 walls 100%. Or those projects. Right. And that, but that's the thing, right? So anybody, right, whether you was outside, whether you stayed inside, whatever, you always have to change your environment. And that's why I said, look,
But here's the thing. What people don't realize is we are spiritual beings going through a human experience. And so what happens is people feel like, yo, if I'm physically in the projects, then I'm in the projects. Yo, Wallow said this. Wallow said, yo, I never was locked up in jail.
Facts.
Right? My body did 20 years, but I was never locked up. Like in my mind, I was making money. In my mind, I was successful. In my mind, right? So when he got out, that's how he got to the bag. That's how he started going crazy, because he's already conditioned. He's already seen what success looked like. So he's a prime example. And we ain't even got to take it to jail. Anybody, like if you live in the projects or any environment you don't want to be in, yo, you have access. You have access to podcasts. You have access to documentaries. You have access to stories. You have access to like create anything that you want to create in your mind. And all you got to do is see it and do it.
So hold up. Help me out, because I'm still in the middle, right?
Yeah,
and I still want to talk to my guys at the bottom.
Yep.
You gotta recognize, we gotta at least, I don't want to say, just to at least recognize the people that, they can say they have access, right?
Yep.
But it's hard as hell thinking you got access when you try and pay your rent.
Yeah.
When you try and know where your next meal coming from. So we can say you got access all we want, right? But to those guys who feel like, man, you can say that, but I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, but see, luckily you got the right one, right? because you know what I'm trying to say? Because I'm not like what I'm saying to you is not exclusive, right? It's not exclusive to when you get it. That's how you get out. Period. There's no other way. I've been through car repossessions. I've been through almost getting my crib foreclosed. I've been through all of that, right? I've been through my daughter 2 years old, don't know where money gonna come from, sitting in my driveway crying, grown ass man crying because I can't feed my daughter. So I'm not coming from a place where I'm like, yo, I always had it good, single parent home, dad left when he was 2, right? Like, so I'm not coming from that place. I'm coming from, I was dead pop. I'm talking about I gotta dig on the couch to try to get change so I can eat Chinese food,
or go
bro.
to the Hennessy bottle with the change in there.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not talking like I'm not telling you in no way there is no other formula. The only formula is that you need to remove yourself positively, right? So that's why people drink and people smoke, and they try to remove themselves mentally from what they're going through, right? But what happens? They get high, they get drunk, and I'm not judging nobody who do all that, but you get high, you get drunk, and then you get to this space where now your mind is somewhere else,
and it can't function,
right? It can't function, and guess what happens when the high comes down? Now you back in that environment, and you like, yo, what, like, right? The better escape is to quiet the mind. The better escape is to meditate. The better escape is to visualize what you actually want, right? Because what's going to happen? The mind does not know the difference between what you are imagining and what's actually real, right? And so if you close your eyes and you meditate and you start seeing that car, you start seeing that house, and you constantly repeating that over and over, guess what the universe is going to do? It's going to, now you're going to start having opportunities that you're going to be attracted to that's going to get you access to those things, right? And now you're going to start seeing it. And now you start visualizing some more, and you start seeing it. You visualize some more, and then eventually it becomes like so normal to you that now your physical it has to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, when I was dead broke, I would go to the car dealership and kind of like look around and act like I belong there. I would go and drive around to cribs that are big cribs. And yo, the first time I used to do, I used to get nervous. Right? Because I didn't feel like I belonged there. So I go to a neighborhood with a big crib, right? I go to a neighborhood with a big crib, and I start getting anxiety. Like, my heart start like, yo, let me get out of here. Because I'm thinking about every negative thing that can happen. I'm like, yo, the cop's going to pull me over. Some neighbor gonna be like, yo, why am I here, and shoot me? Like, I was so nervous being in those neighborhoods because that's all I heard. Yo, black people was in this nice neighborhood. He got shot. This. So I had this negative connotation. But guess what? I had to fight through it. So now I keep going. And finally, I started going to open houses, right? So now I'm walking in, and now I'm getting more comfortable. Now this becomes my norm. Now I'm like, I'm looking at where I really live, and I'm like, nah, this ain't it. This ain't it.
Because you surrounded yourself with it.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this then. And this is same path, different way, right?
Yeah.
We always hear these conversations, the goat, right? Yeah. And I'm curious, because just like the mindset, Do you think the GOAT gene is something you learn along the way, or is that something that we born with?
Nah, you learn it all the way. Like you learn. So
LeBron wasn't born LeBron. He had to work to get to LeBron.
So it's the difference though, right? So like LeBron had two things working for him, right? He biologically though, right? He was like he's 6'8", 260. Like that's genes.
Kobe.
You know what I'm saying? Right, same thing, right? Like Kobe's athletic ability, Jordan's agility. Like these people have this one thing working for them, but then you add their work ethic and then they become the greatest. There's somebody right now in the hood that's 6'8", that's 260, that's a specimen. That people are like, why are you on the corner, bro? Why are you doing freestyles? He didn't work at it. You know what I'm saying? And so I think greatness is something that you have to work towards, right? It's your habits that make you. And so at the end of the day, you can have everything working for you, but a prime example, I'll give you this example. Think about a Rolls Royce. A Rolls Royce, like it's an expensive car. It could do all these things. If you don't give it the right gas, it ain't going nowhere.
It's gonna go out just like that Honda.
It's gonna go out. Exactly, right? And so at the end of the day, you gotta make sure it
might go out faster.
Exactly, right? So you gotta make sure, am I feeding myself the things that I need in order for greatness to happen?
I ask that because your mindset is kind of the same way, right? Because sometimes I could be an empath, so now I'm like, man, when everything you saying, it resonates with me. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
But what about for the guys who can't comprehend that fact? I'm like, is that just something that's in me, in you, in the guys in this room? But I don't want to pass judgment on the people that it's not in. I'm like, man, how can your guy that's the opposite of us, right? That's not as motivated as us.
Yeah.
They still deserve a good life.
They don't. They don't.
Ooh.
They don't.
You see, I try to feel for them.
Nah. Look. 50 once said joy wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain.
Facts.
Right?
Death wouldn't feel good. Yeah, facts. Yeah.
Right? You need contrast. And I used to think the same way. I used to be like, everybody deserve. No, everybody don't. Because what, like somebody like you, what's your contrast? If everybody's doing good, then what good is? Good don't exist no more if everybody's doing good.
Sheesh.
Right? You know what I'm saying? And it ain't me, right? I'm not saying that I desire people to do bad, but in order for me to know I'm doing good, I need to see bad. Right? In order for me to feel like I'm righteous, I need to see evil. Right? In order for me to know it's light outside, there has to be a darkness.
Facts.
Right? And so for me, I feel like, here's the truth of the matter is that everybody has a choice. So you always get what you believe. If you believe that this is your life, you can't do better than that, and this is what was destined for you, guess what? That's what you're going to get. If you believe like, this can't be life, there's more out there for me, and that's what you're going to get.
So you don't have like problems with like old friends. You've been doing this 19 years, you said? So we got to say before the 19 years, right? Because it's easy. Like I asked somebody about feeling like, when you feel guilty.
Survivor's guilt.
Survivor's guilt.
Yeah. It comes and goes.
Okay, because I'm wondering, because like I be wanting to like, it's friends back home or like just friends in general that's like, man, I want to teach them. I want them to get it. But sometimes they just don't get it.
But you know what it is? Like for me, with being said, Mac, tighten up your circle before it hurts you. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, what I realize is trying to help everybody is hurting me. You know what I'm saying? And what Mike Tyson said this. Mike said, if you're a friend to everybody, you're an enemy to yourself, right? And so when you think about, I can't want something for you more than you want it.
Facts.
And so if I'm trying to tell you and you're not listening, if I'm the example and you're not using it, the only thing it's going to do is going to bring me down. And not only do I have a family, I got my podcast has been seen 6 million times. It's been downloaded 1 million. Like, think about all the lives that I change. Because I do a Inside the Vault is money mindset. I'm teaching game. People come to me all the time and tell me like, you changed my life. So imagine this. If I focus on that one person that's still on the block and I'm trying to convince them to do something good, and the energy I'm giving to them, that means I'm not giving energy to the people who actually want it, and now I'm wasting energy. And now I'm doing a disservice not only to myself, but the other people who are ready to execute.
All right, so tell me this then. you had to learn that along the way,
Yeah.
or because like you said, survivor's guilt come and goes.
Yeah.
How are you dealing with that in those moments when you like, man, I got it, man. It's still niggas back home, the ones you care about. Not, it's easy to say,
no, 100%.
Forget the strangers.
Yeah.
The ones you care about, how you deal with that.
Yeah. So for me, I think it's doing the small things. You know what I'm saying? Like this last school season, I went back to the block, did a back to school event. You know what I'm saying? Gave away book bags, gave away money, like, you know what I'm saying? Like food and all that, right? Made myself accessible, right? So people coming up and they're like, yo, Ash Cash. Like, so my peers are coming, right? It doesn't feel good though, right? Because I'm watching dudes that I grew up with who, like, they look bad, they struggling. But again, it's the contrast, you know what I'm saying? So again, it's like, all right, bet. They're not doing that good. I'm doing excellent. Man, how blessed am I? You know what I'm saying? And so now I get to look because I also have a choice though, right? When you get survivor's guilt, am I gonna be upset that I live in a 8-bedroom, 6-bath house? Am I gonna be mad that I got a $10,000 watch on? Am I gonna be mad that I drive a 6-figure car? No. Like, am I that guilty that I'm willing to give all of that up? Right?
I don't think so.
No way. No way. Am I upset that both my kids go to private school? Like, at the end of the day, it's like we make a choice, right? I could sit, and here's the thing about guilt though, right? Is that when you start, like, you attract what you feel, right? So all right, have that guilt for a second, but you need to get over it, right? Because if you stay in it too long, universe gonna say, oh, yo,
that's
Jay,
what you want.
Jay want that feeling.
Oof.
Yo, he feel guilty? All right, so Jay want that feeling, so I'm going to put him around other things that make him feel guilty, right? And now that guilt, right, now you start losing stuff. Now you start getting back to a situation that you never wanted. So I try as much as possible. That's why I mentioned meditation. I'm telling, and just try it, right? Anybody listening, just try it. Meditation is really just quieting the mind. You could do guided meditation with music, or you could just close your eyes and count your breaths. Every time you breathe, just count that number. You do that, it quiets your mind. Your intuition starts to kick, and you start to get a flow. It starts giving you like these intuitive hunches.
Your mind start this twitch.
It's crazy. And you start getting ideas. You start, all right, let me do this. Let me run this play. Like, you need to do that on a constant basis, because that's the other thing too, is that I think about meditation and listening to positive things like a shower, right? If you took a shower on Monday, you're not going to be like, yo, I'm good. Come Thursday, come Friday, you're not going to be like, yo, I'm good. I took a shower on Monday.
Nah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Nah.
Yo, you're going to be like, I took a shower, right? I took a shower. It's 90 degrees out here.
I was about to say, it's hot as hell. I got to take another one.
Right? It's hot. So I went out there and got sweaty. Now I got to take another shower, right? That's what meditation is. Meditation is like, yo, I calmed my mind. I got to this space. Yo, then I go out to the real world, and guess what? I'm going to get dirty. So now I need another shower. You know what I'm saying? And so now we constantly got to feed ourselves with motivational stuff. We constantly got to feed ourselves with, meditating and being quiet. Because the more we do that, the more we reset. And the more we reset, the more we get to what we want in life.
You wildin', first of all. You got to relax.
Yo.
You going crazy. You know what's crazy about this?
Yeah.
Because, like, so I'm just talking being me. I just got my way about me, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I don't really need the motivation shit. Like, that ain't really, I don't need that, right? But you showed that I need it. 100%. We all need it, because, like I said, when I watched your podcast with Shannon's the first time, it just gave me a different feeling. It just made me like, I'm getting a haircut. I can't even get. Hold on, man. Let me go get to it. You feel me? That's how it made me feel.
100%.
But I don't feel like that all the time, because, like, I go get it on my own.
Right.
But imagine if I did that
all the time. Yeah, bro. Like
crazy.
the danger. Right. Think about so think about this, right? You could have anything that you put your mind to, right? Imagine how dangerous you are. Like if you get it on your own with the noise, with people in your, like, imagine how dangerous you would be if you intentionally meditated every morning, if you intentionally put positive things in your mind, like, yo, you would be so dangerous. Cause I see your grind though. I see it. And so I'm like, yo, if that little tweak, and it ain't even, I'm talking about 15 minutes. I'm talking about 15, like 15. Put your phone on 15 minutes and just go. Change your whole entire life.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like, but even like just to my entrepreneurs out here, because like, you know, we came up and I'm pretty sure you did too. Came up in a space where it was like, man, I got it on my own. I got it on my own.
Yeah.
Same thing you said.
Yeah.
Imagine you put a team behind you,
bro. Yo, like really, I think the team, relationships, collaboration is the cheat code to get to anything faster, B. That's the cheat code. Like, if you want to, like, you can hustle to 6 figures. If you want to get to 6 figures, you can hustle to 6 figures.
Yeah.
If you want to get to 7 and 8 figures, you need a team. You need a system, and you need a team.
And those relationships.
And
super important.
when I tell you relationships are like probably like if you ask me right now, a relationship with a billionaire or $10 million in my bank account right now, I'll take the relationship with the billionaire.
They say relationships is the biggest currency.
Biggest currency. Because guess what? Money comes and goes. But if you have a relationship, that information that they give you could change your life.
You can't unsee it. Like you said, you can't unhear it.
Can't unhear it.
You going crazy. All right. This shit went way out of, I didn't want to start with this. Yeah. I wanted to start with this. All right, so you've had a lot of success.
Yes, sir.
One thing I don't really hear you talking about is what came with you.
Yeah.
Follow me. You wasn't always successful, but you've been married for what, 15 years? 16 years now. You're married for 16 years.
Yeah.
So you wasn't making the same amount of money that you're making now than you was when you first met your wife.
Nah, yeah.
Right? But when you start making different amount of money, it's different levels.
100%. Yeah.
People don't talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
Different type of temptation. We all say,
100%.
Man, I'm that nigga. Yeah, you think you that nigga till you become a different type of nigga.
100%.
How is that with the marriage though? How was you able to deal with the family?
Yeah.
Gaining so much success, smelling yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
Dealing with the world.
Yeah. It's an up and down. You know what I'm saying? Like in the words of the Honorable Sean Carter, sometimes you up, sometimes you down. As long as you stay the same, it'll come back around. I think that the way. So first and foremost, I think the way that you last in a relationship is really having a friendship first. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain things that I just wouldn't do to my friends. You know what I'm saying? And so
integrity.
You know what I'm saying? So when you are in a relationship, if all I was in my relationship with my wife was just like for sex, or she's the mother of my children and that's it, then it's easy for a temptation to happen, right? It's easy for me to be like to step out and do something that's disrespectful to my wife that I use for sex, or my wife who's the mother of my children, because there's no friendship there. So I feel like friendship is one of those things that help a relationship last, because what happens is that you will always love somebody, right? I don't care about love. I care about like, right? Do I like you enough to be around you? Because if I stop liking you, right, there's people I love that I'll never talk to ever again in my life, right? So love don't like, so if I say, I love my wife, I bet. Right, but I also I'm talking about, there's tons of people that I know. I love that person. I don't want nothing bad to happen to them, but I know I will never speak to that person ever in my life. Right, but do I like you? Do I like you enough to spend time with you? Do I like you enough to give you respect? Right, and so I think that dealing with the temptations was, it was just about respecting my wife first and foremost. Like I never would want her to be out here looking crazy. Number one. Number two is that we've created a system where she's always been like my biggest supporter. You know what I'm saying? So she got me off the block, right? She was the reason why I was like, you know what? I'm not playing the hood no more. You know what I'm saying? Like let me figure out, what real success looked like. Like let me be an entrepreneur. Like she always saw in me. Before I saw it, she would see like, yo, nah, you greater than this. Yo, nah, you should go that. So what would I look like? The person who supported me, the person who pushed me, the person who is really the reason why I could even generate all of this money, and now get this money and now disrespect her by jumping out and messing with somebody else. So it's really about understanding that, at the end of the day, you got to have a level of integrity. But also you got to give yourself grace, right? You got to give yourself, grace to, mess up and have those conversations. You know what I'm saying? So like I've never cheated on my wife, but I've done stupid things as a husband, as a father, as a friend. You know what I'm saying? But there's been this, we've been able to have this level of conversation, difficult conversations, and the ups and downs happen. But as long as we are committed, everything will work out.
But was one thing I feel like we don't touch enough just as men, especially in relationships. We talk about the community and proximity when we talk about getting money, right?
Yeah.
One thing I learned in the relationship, I just got engaged. We've been together for 6 years. Thank you. But I've learned that I had to get in a proximity of people who are married.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
100%.
I have to be in a community of people who have relationships
100%.
because then I understand that, damn, I'm not by myself. I'm not alone.
Oh, 100%. Yo, it's so funny. Even now, like all of my guys know that come a certain time, Ash is going in the house, right? We have events, like my own event. I'll throw a conference and they like, yo, we'll do a mastermind. They like, yo, we're going to do a pool party later. They know. They're like, yo, Ash is not going to be there.
Facts.
As soon as it's over, like whatever the speaking part, Ash is out. He's not coming to the pool party. You're not gonna see him. You're not gonna see him at the bar. You're not gonna see him at the strip club. But it's a known thing to the point where people don't even invite me now to certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because the truth of the matter is that, like, again, it's all about proximity. So if I'm married and I'm around all my friends who are not married and I'm watching them pull, you know what I'm saying? Because we still men at the end of the day, right? So I could still spot a bad joint.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so if I see a bad joint, and you got to think about it, when you get to a certain level, it's like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm at
it's levels.
Cash, you know what I'm saying?
It's levels.
And so, because whether like people will see me, right? Women will see me, and I could tell. I'm like, all right, she ready to give, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if she married, she really, like I could tell. But at the end of the day, I don't want to put myself in that situation. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta, so really a part of removing temptation is also removing yourself out of those situations, right? Because what's going to happen? I go to the pool party, chicks start drinking, get drunk, and now she, you know what I'm saying? Like, chicks are bold. You know what I'm saying? You get to, like, a chick, if she want what she want, a chick is bold.
And it's not even worth being in that situation. Even if you can handle yourself, it's just not even worth it.
Exactly.
Now you denying her, or
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Now it's all bad. You know what I mean? So for for the men out there, I would just say, like, when you get like part of curving temptation, like, yo, be around, other married men, other people that's in committed relationships, and then you know what I'm saying, and take your friends to understand. Like I promise you, if you bring value to a situation, nobody's gonna X you out because you don't hang out with them.
And even outside of the temptation part, I thought it was dope that, because when you're going through things at home, right? Sometimes, like, I don't know, you don't want to tell your business to anybody. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep it at home. But what I've learned is nobody wants to feel like they by themselves. Right. So like when you're going through, I'm gonna just paint a picture for the guys out there. You're going through, your girl getting on your nerves. I don't know, she complaining a lot.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, man, she just keep on complaining.
Yeah.
But what happened is you only have to tell your business.
Right.
You're around your man that's married, you've been married for 15, 20 years. And he like, man, woman, she gonna do that.
Facts.
But now you're not looking for no else because now you understand.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's super important too.
100%. Because that's the thing, right? Because to that point, a lot of times if you don't have if you're not in a if you're in a committed relationship and you talk to somebody who's not in a committed relationship, they gonna be like, yo, yo. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, yo, we out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so now it's gonna give into that temptation. To your point though, now when you start being able to hear, right, from sometimes it's actually hearing from the opposite sex though too, right? So I remember my wife and I we were having a conversation. Actually, so she's the CFO of my business, right? For all of our businesses or whatever. So a lot of the meetings we take together. So we was on a meeting and we was talking to a gentleman who has been married for 27 years. And so as he started talking, he started telling my wife certain things that I used to tell my wife, right? And so he was like, yeah, me and my wife, we've been together such and such years. And, I know she think I don't listen to her, but it's not that I don't listen to her. So he's like telling her this stuff. So she looked at me and she was like, right? So now she not taking what I do personal because she like, oh, that's a God thing. That's a married man thing. It's not isolated to her. So like having, being in those environments not only help us as men, but it's vice versa. If I'm talking to a married woman who's like, oh yeah, nah, your wife is just doing that because X, Y, Z, it actually allows you to understand your significant other a little better.
Sheesh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, you said your wife is the CFO. Did you like make her that, or does that like since you've been grinding, she always wanted to be a part of the business?
Nah, it evolved into that. You know what I'm saying? Because in the beginning, and as supportive as she was, in the beginning, it was this separation where she just wanted to do her own thing. She wanted like her own identity. And so she would, she had her job. She was always like an HR person or whatever the case may be. But I think that for us, the higher you go, the more notoriety you have, the less people you could trust. You know what I'm saying? And so for us, it was like, she was capable. She has the ability to do it. She knows the business better than anybody else. She has our best interests at heart. And so it only made sense to bring her into the business at that level, because she would never do anything to hurt me, because hurting me is hurting herself and hurting the kids. And so we had to kind of get to there. So there had to be a level of, I had to show her like, yo, I'm him. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times when you try to work with family members, if you don't go hard for your dream, if you're not showing, your significant other, family members or whatever, that you really do this at a high level, then it's gonna be hard to bring them over. I think that at the moment she started to realize like, yo, this is like people love me. People are buying my products and services. I'm building a brand that is recognizable. Then it's like, you know what? Let me just go all in, because let's not divide the energy. You know what I mean? I
asked that, bro, because again, in this society, right, we have so many people like, man, if your woman ain't coming and putting in the work with you, or you know what I'm saying? And that sound good. Yeah. But just from my experience and a lot of the guys that I hear, a lot of times you gotta prove it to your wife. Like your girl, your wife, your fiance, whatever, she ain't quitting her job to work for you unless you could pay for it. Right. No, but what happened is when you say it out loud, it like, oh, she don't support you for real. Right. Why you gotta make so much money to pay her to be on your team for her not to support you? Right.
Nah, and you got to think about it from this perspective, is that like, why you haven't given her a reason to support you. You know what I'm saying? Like
let's not say support, my bad. Yeah. Because it's support. You can support me by saying, keep going, babe. You got this. You know what I'm saying? But to give up on what I got going on to work for you, 100%. I wouldn't even say that's support.
Right. And that's the thing. Like you haven't given her that reason. You know what I'm saying? Like think about all the times you stopped and started. Think about all the times you got distracted. Think about all the times where you should be working, but you playing games and you watch it. Like how much confidence is that gonna give her? You know what I'm saying? And so I think, again, it gotta get to a level where you have proved it. Not to see the thing, and here's the deal, and catch this. You only attract who you are. So the reason why your girl don't believe in you, because you don't believe in you. You think you trying to use her as a scapegoat. You trying to say the reason why you're not at the level of success that you should be at is because you're not like your girl not there and she not supporting you, and so you trying to use that as an excuse. The truth of the matter is that the moment, right? Common said, yo, nobody believe until I believe me, right? And so the reason why she not supporting you, because you don't support yourself. When you get to that point, when you believe that you are him, when you believe that, yo, this is what I do and I do this at a high level, there's an energy that come with that. And that energy attracts people to be like, yo, I don't know what he on, but he different.
Facts.
And that's when you get the support. So a lot of men and women are doing it wrong. Like, they're looking for this outward validation where it starts within. When you get to that level, like, so you got to think about it. The moment I was able to get my wife to quit her job, work for the business full time. What happened simultaneously? What happened was I had the biggest month of my life, right? I made six figures. I made $140,000 in 2 days. So now she looking like, you did what, right? But guess what? I like to me though, I was like, yo, ain't nobody could tell me nothing, right? Because at one point I was trying to make six figures in a month. Now I did that in 2. I'm like, oh, this is different. So now I'm feeling myself. And think about this, right? Think about this. There's a reason why the dude who ain't got no bread don't get no girls. Because he don't
got that confidence.
He don't got that confidence.
He don't walk with that. Yeah.
He don't walk with that. Once you give a dude bread, and now he start feeling himself, the women feel they feel the energy. They feel that energy.
Yeah.
That's the same exact thing that happens at home. You not coming in your house with no confident energy that you really do this. Once you believe and you like, yo, I do this, you're gonna start to attract it.
You on bullshit, right?
You know what I'm trying to say? You know what I mean?
Yo, duh, bro. Yo, I'm glad you was able to say that because when I heard some CF, I'm just wondering. Because a lot of people would say, man, if you ain't gonna support me until I make $140,000 in 2 days, then you don't really love me for real. Right. But that's not really the case.
Right. Nah, you trying to find a scapegoat. You trying to find a way out.
Bro, what you went to bars and lyrics and shit. What my man Loaded Luck say? What the Calico say? He said, these are grown man bars. You got
what is that? Grown man bars.
It's something you gotta deal with. That's what made me think when I get the quote. Yo, can we get that quote?
Yeah.
Yo, that's
what it was.
That's
grown man bars you gotta deal with.
Yo, so all right, bet. So we touched on this a little bit before we started. You said 19 years you've been doing this.
Yeah. So 2004 was when I started to teach financial education. 14 years is when I straight entrepreneur. So that's when I wrote my first book in 2009.
Let's talk about just this microwave in society. Right? I don't know if you feel that.
Oh, no, 100%.
It's like people, I don't want to say promote, but they glorify the overnight success.
Yeah.
You hear it in even people's speeches.
Yeah.
Man, because I'm doing this. This is why I was able to do this in a year of starting or 6 months of starting.
Yeah.
It's like, that's cool. Salute to everybody that's doing great for sure.
Yeah.
But I think we need to highlight the niggas that really been doing it
100%.
and keep doing it. Because for me personally, I think it's harder to continue to do something
100%.
than to get something overnight and keep going. Because you get it overnight, it's like, oh yeah, I can do it.
100%.
When you go some years without getting it and you keep going, you're a little insane.
Yo, it's so crazy because I say this all the time. Like, I remember when I first started, there was a lot of people killing it. You know what I'm saying? I look back now and I'm like, yo, these dudes is on Facebook putting memes up.
What Drake say?
You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
we're gonna see who here 10 years from now.
Yo, facts. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the true level of success, because at the end of the day, if you are in the right time, in the right place at the right time, you're going to be successful, right? Think about all of the pandemic millionaires that happened, right? What happens? Pandemic hit. There is a lot of money in circulation because everybody's getting the PPP loans, everybody getting stipends, people not paying student loans. So that literally the government created trillions of dollars that didn't exist prior to the pandemic, right? So now all you got to do, people are panicking, you put on a camera, you start selling something. You can sell clothes, you can sell courses, whatever. A lot of people started making a lot of money, right? But now, 3 years later, that money gone.
Facts.
Right? People are not in their house no more. People are outside. So now it's back to business. Now you got to do good business. You can't convince somebody to buy your $2,000 course, right? And so now a lot of the people who made all this money, and here's the thing about making a lot of money, and I've made a lot of money, I've lost a lot of money, and I'm going to tell you this one thing. When you make a lot of money, you don't think it's ever going to stop. There is just this adrenaline that comes to you that you feel like the money's always going to be coming. And so what happens is when you think the money's not going to stop, you're not making good decisions, right? You're buying all these properties or you're buying all these luxury cars. You're doing all these things that are depreciating that, is not going to necessarily, give you a lot of money. And then now when the money stops, now you have to either sell cars, you have to figure out how do you maintain this same lifestyle. And so, I think that it is a dangerous thing for us to hold on to this microwave lifestyle, because at the end of the day, it is not going to last. This is why we see athletes who, was making millions of dollars who are dead broke. We see lottery winners, right? The average lottery winner loses their money in 5 years, right? Why? Because it's like discipline, right? What people don't realize is that success is attached to discipline. If you get it too fast, you haven't built discipline. And so now you don't know what it takes to day in, day out, what needs to happen, right? A lot of the people who go on fad diets, right? You like, I got to lose weight. So you go on a fad diet, you lose 30, 40, 50 pounds, and then everybody like, you look good, but you didn't have the discipline to lose it slowly.
You're going to feel that, you're going to be right back the way you
right
was
back the
next
way you
week.
was next week, right? And so it's the same thing with money. It's the same thing with success. I will take slow grind, way more than trying to do it faster. I mean, and honestly, I think that's how, for me, I had exponential growth, right? I went from six figures to 7 figures to 8 figures. How? Because I already had the discipline that it took for me to make 6 figures. So I'm gonna consistently make 6 figures. I bet. I got that discipline. I know what type of work it takes. So now when I hire a mentor and I get access to a room of multimillionaires and they like, just do this one thing. Now all I gotta do is add that one thing to my discipline that I have already. Now I quantum leap and I get to the next level, right? And so that's why I never sleep on anybody who has the discipline, right? That's why I know, like if you don't got multi-millions right now, I know you're gonna be a multi-millionaire. Why?
Oh no, I'm getting.
You know what I'm saying? I know.
I don't feel no way,
right? I know that. I know that for sure. You know why? Because I see your work ethic. You know what I'm saying? You always in the rooms. You always working. You always, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you are always making sure that so you have the grind of a multimillionaire already. So what happens? Now, once you start getting the structures, once you start staying in those rooms, once you get the right, so now it's just a matter of time. It's not a matter of, do you have what it takes? It's just a matter of time. So I say that when you look at somebody, right, I could look at somebody right now who made a lot of money in a short period of time and they walk in the room with a chip on their shoulder. I could tell that, they're going to fall off soon, right? Because they don't have this work ethic. Oh, now that you made this money, I see you on you at all events. You everywhere. So when are you working? When are you planting the seed? When are you realizing that what helped you make $1 million last year ain't gonna work this year? You know what I'm saying? Like when are you understanding what it's pivoting to? Anybody who's running the same plays that they did last year, they dead in the water. They dead in the water because the environment changed, things have changed. So now you gotta pivot. You gotta what's next? I bet this was next. All right, let me. Oh, this is where the economy is going. All right, so let me follow this. So there's things that you have to be prepared for. But if you don't have the discipline, if you're not getting the education, if you're not staying in the room, you're not gonna know these things and you're gonna fall from grace.
Wait, it's because you made this about me, right? Because I feel like there's a lot of people out there who is like me or who was like me, and I had to learn this.
Yeah.
I don't even like the compliment of you work hard now.
Yeah.
Because so do you think somebody can really make it to millions just working hard? Because I feel like you got to work smart.
Yeah,
you work yourself in a circle, in a hole.
So I think there's levels to the type of work you do, right? You always got to work hard. If anybody tell you, like, I could pull, like, I don't know any multimillionaire, any billionaire who doesn't work hard. It's just a level of work, right? So when I first started, you know what I'm saying? Like I did all my camera work. I did all my editing. You know what I'm saying? Like I did everything. So I was working hard. Now I hire a team, right? My team does that. But now what am I doing with my time? Now I'm watching other people's interviews. I'm studying, right? So there's still the work that needs to be done, right? So you got a whole camera team. What did you do? You didn't just put me on the pod. You watched some interviews. You were like, all right, let me learn this guy. Let me figure this out so I can have the right questions to ask. That's still work. You get what I'm saying? Like me, I'm looking. I'm like, yo, all right, what hashtags am I gonna use? What title's gonna work? What clips do I like? I still do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to know I'm responsible for this. And so there's going to be another level where I find somebody who does that. Guess what? Now I'm traveling a lot. I'm getting in rooms so I can get better guests. Like there's still going to be work. It's just so that level of, yo, you work hard, don't never give that up. Right? But it's just what type of hard work? Because guess what? When you now get to that multi-million-dollar status, and you wanna have a business that's worth $100 billion. You wanna get to that billionaire status. There's still hard work. There's still stuff that needs to be done. It's just the level of work changes.
Yo, you going crazy, bro. Like we gotta slow it down. You know what's crazy about that? Because it is right, and I think we hear this cliche about enjoying the process, right?
Yeah.
And if I could if we can help the entrepreneurs and anybody that's going through something right now, is really embrace that. Because everything you just said, it come with a level. It was a point in time where you was editing the videos by yourself, setting up your cameras by yourself.
Yeah.
But you had to do that so you could hire a team.
100%.
Right? A lot of times we get to looking at everybody else's success and be like, man, I need me a team because they got a team. They saying the team work.
Nah.
I got to get in these rooms because they saying getting in the rooms working. And all of that could be true.
Yeah.
But you gotta master one thing first at a time.
100%.
Because if I don't have this time or the space to get in the room, maybe I'm not there yet. Right. I don't mean I won't get there, but let me get this down pat.
100%. Because but think about this, right? So I love to use this example of the butterfly, right? So the butterfly goes to 4 stages of a metamorphosis. It starts off as an egg, then from an egg it becomes a caterpillar, then from a caterpillar it goes into the chrysalis, into the shell, and then it has to break out of the shell in order to become a butterfly, right? Now peep this. At the time that the butterfly is in the shell, if anybody comes and helps the caterpillar or the butterfly get out of the shell, like if you just cut the chrysalis, the butterfly is gonna die. Why? Because the inertia, the level of energy, right? Like every time the butterfly kept doing this, trying to break out of the shell, guess what? It was getting the wings stronger. And so by the time it got so strong that it broke out of the chrysalis, now it can fly. But if it's doing like this and somebody opens this up, it don't even got the strength. It's too weak. It don't even got the strength to fly. So it's gonna shrivel up and it's gonna die. That's the same thing with entrepreneurship. If you don't know how to grind, if you don't know how to keep hitting your head against the wall and keep going, then when you get to that next level, the next thing that is going to shake you up. So you got to get to that level. You got to get strong as an entrepreneur. You got to know what the grind is. You got to know how to do stuff yourself. Because guess what? When you do it yourself, now nobody could give you no excuse.
Nobody.
You can't give me no excuse. You go, yo, I need this by tomorrow, B. Oh, not, bro. I need this by tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? And so I have this thing.
And if you don't get it to me by tomorrow, that's cool. I'll do it myself.
100%. You know what I'm saying?
It ain't gonna stop.
And so I have this thing: do, document, delegate. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to do it first, because if you don't know how to do it, how are you gonna tell people what to do? Right? So you do it first. After you do it, yo, document the process. Right? You document, all right, this is the steps that I took. So now I document the process. Now I could give it to somebody else. Now I can say, I can delegate. Now I can say, you do it. And now I'm going to promote myself. I'm going to go to the next level. I'm going to do some stuff on this level. I'm going to document it. I'm going to delegate. Then I'm going to go to the next level. Right? And so that's what I'm saying. That's how you build an empire. Right? That's how you get a team, because now there's stuff that I don't even do. Right? It's stuff that there's a machine. Like, I don't post on social media. People don't even know. I don't even post on social media. I got a whole social media team that cuts my content up. They make sure that my followers are growing. Because what? I don't got time to be scrolling on social media, seeing what the trends are and all that. Nah, y'all do that. Right? I got a young team. They got their posts on everything. I bet y'all do that. And now I stay relevant. Right? But now I could move and shake. I could go to different rooms. I could build these relationships. I could spend time with my family. You know what I'm saying? And so it's really about getting to that space where you are working hard, so that way you could keep it. You know what I'm saying? Like once this network, grows to multi-million people watching, like, you need a system.
It's like, then what?
Exactly.
It's crazy. Bro, it's crazy that you said this, because like that's exactly how, if I was telling my friends, man, your shit look good, man. Your interview style is so good. Like you do your research. A lot of people don't do that. And like some people, because it's crazy, because when you're in a space and somebody else not, it's hard for them to understand.
Right.
And like they said, I'm like, bro, like, yeah, but it can't, like that can't just be it.
Right.
Because now you got to go into marketing.
Absolutely.
Like, because if I'm doing my research, I'm having such a great conversation and only 20 people saying it, what does that do?
What's the point?
There's no point of it. So now I won't be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor because I ain't doing nothing. I'm not following up with nothing.
100%.
So it's crazy that you say that, because like that's so true. Like that's so true, bro. Like, then what?
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. Yo, you got to a point where I remember I was saying I watched the second interview of Shan's, right? Because I watched a few things, but the second interview was so dope because I felt like I got more of a person.
Yeah.
And I think you was like, something changed, I guess, like you got everything.
Yep.
And it was like,
I made $10 million last year. And as a kid from the projects, as somebody who I thought that millions of dollars would change my life, you get to that destination and it's the same. Like nothing really changes.
You still chasing something else. You get 10 million, now you're chasing 25.
But I think that was the point for me. I think that when I thought about what it really took for me to get to the place of contentment, I don't need 20 million. You know what I'm saying? Like my ideal life cost me $400,000 a year. That's it. I'm talking about big house. I'm talking about cars. I'm talking about vacationing with my family 4 times a year. I'm talking about ideal life. I'm not talking about basic necessities. I'm talking about my ideal life only cost me $400,000 a year. So unless I'm expanding and I want to hire more people, what I need 20 million for, right? That's not so. Let me just be clear. I'm not saying like I will become a billionaire, right? So I'm not saying that there isn't a desire for more money, but there isn't this expectation that this more money is going to change my life exponentially, which is why you just alluded to, you was like, yo, you gotta fall in love with the journey. Because that's what happened though. I didn't, like I saw opportunity. I said, yo, we could run this bag up, right? I said, oh, this is the time. We could run this bag up. We can make millions and millions of dollars. So now I start chasing the money. So I get to a point where I'm chasing the money, and then I'm thinking that the money, so I'm sacrificing, I'm doing a lot to get to the money. I get to that destination, and it's like, it's nothing. And so for me, I will never not love the journey. If I'm doing something and I'm not in love with the process, then it's time for me to either hire somebody else to do it or do something else.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Because I say this a lot. It's easy to look back on something and say that.
Yeah.
Like I say, like, hindsight bias.
Yeah.
So you had to make that 10 million to feel that.
100%, without a doubt. There's no way.
What's the lesson in that if somebody can learn it before making it, or you think they gotta go through that?
No, I think the lesson is stop chasing after a number arbitrarily. Know your real number.
Yes, I seen you say that.
You know what I'm saying? Because money doesn't buy happiness, but there's a number that does. Right? Meaning that if I, let's say my ideal life costs $400,000. So if I made $60,000 this year, I will be miserable. But there's somebody right now, if they made $60,000 this year, they will be the happiest person ever, right? So it's all perspective. So my ideal life doesn't look like everybody else's ideal life. And so a lot of people, because they're online, because people are like, yo, millionaire this, millionaire this, millionaire that, they're chasing after this, they're compromising, they're sacrificing, they're chasing after a number just for the sake of chasing a number.
So how do those two intertwine?
Yeah.
Because before that you said you was able to fall in love with the journey again.
Yeah.
And that's what really make you happy, right? But if I'm chasing a number that I'm content with, I'm still not in love with the journey. I'm just chasing a number that I'm content with. How do we fall in love with that journey when I'm like, bro, I need this, man. I need to survive. I need $10,000. I need $6,000 a month to survive. How can I fall in love with the journey?
So I say this, right? I say, number one, find your number, right? So say to yourself, I don't even like people having to work hard to survive, though. Right? Because like I always wear this shirt that says abundance is your birthright, because I believe that Kanye said if you try hard, you die hard, right? I believe that everything that you desire, everything is already here for you. All the money you ever wanted, all the opportunities, all the people that you need, every single thing is here for you. It's your actual birthright. You just have to allow it. Right. So what happens is that we block our abundance, and that's why we think we got to work hard. That's why we think we got to just survive. Like everything that you need to thrive is already here. So you have to figure out, what does your ideal lifestyle look like? Right. Which goes back to what we talked about earlier about visioning. Right. If you're just visioning, if you're just like, yo, I want to make, I gotta survive. I got rent due. I got people, I got my kids to take care of, whatever that is. Your dream's not big enough. When I think about my dreams don't have nothing to do with my family, don't have nothing to do with my kids. You know what it has to do with? The people that I serve. Because guess what? The more people I'm valuable to, the more money I get.
That's a fact. We know that.
Right? And so for me, if I'm like, yo, I gotta survive, my kids go to private school, my wife needs this, blah, blah. If I'm only looking at that, I'm not looking at what the byproduct. I'm not looking at the thing that's actually gonna get me that. You know what I'm saying? And so now, instead of looking at that, I got to say, yo, how many people do I need to serve to make $400,000 a year? I bet. So if I have, let's say I have a program that costs $44 a month, I bet I just need 1,000. Yo, all I need is 1,000 people to pay me $44 a month, and I'm good. Right? And so now, so at the same time, I love serving the people. So all I got to do is chase after serving the people, and the money's going to come, and everything I need is already going to be there. So I think that when people stop being selfish, stop only looking at what you need, start looking at who are you and how do you serve other people, and how is the gift that you have, how can I serve people at the high level to the point where they're willing to give you money. You put those together, now you have your ideal life.
Don't leave me on a cliffhanger, though. How can somebody find out what they might not know?
Yeah.
Not me and you, right?
Yeah.
Somebody watching this might not know what they good at. They might not know how can they serve the community.
Yeah. I think self-awareness is really important. I think that people do know what they enjoy to do. They just don't have the knowledge on how to monetize it. Right. And so somebody who has a great personality, right? They could go in a room and they could connect with anybody. They might like I'm gonna use you again as an example. The first time I met you, I said, "Oh, this dude's a star." Right? Guess what? You talked to you didn't know half everybody in there.
I ain't know nobody.
Right? Yo, you talked to everybody that was in that. It didn't matter what status they were. It didn't matter at all. Like every single person that was in that room, you was comfortable to talk to them. Right? And what did that tell me? That said, yo, this dude is comfortable within himself because he's not intimidated at all. Because we had some big dogs.
Yeah. Facts, yeah.
You wasn't intimidated. You was just like moving around. So I could tell, though, I don't even have to know you. I could tell who you was in high school. I could tell that you was the life. You know what I'm saying? You the life of the party. Like you the cool kid that everybody want to be around. That's a gift, bro. You just learn how to monetize it, right? You learn, right? Cause it comes off in your interviews. I watch you sit with big dogs and you comfortable. Like you you chilling. I'm like, yo, this dude, like this person a legend and he comfortable. And the guest is comfortable. You know what I'm trying to say? It's a gift. And you just learn how to monetize it. Imagine if you didn't see it as a gift, though. Imagine if you just, that's nothing. And so I think that everybody watching this, think about, like, who are you? Right? Be, do, have. A lot of people are so focused on doing that they forget that it's the being. If you be, then your being is going to dictate what you do, and your doing is going to dictate what you have. And so just be. It ain't even that difficult. Just when you wake up in the morning, if you got knowledge of self and you know who you are, just be that. What do people come up like? I prime example. Yo, I be in the gym. Strangers come up to me and be like, "Man, you just motivated me." How? Right? Because guess what? I don't do inspiration or motivation. I am. I am motivation. I am inspiration. I walk into a room. You don't even gotta know my name, and there's an energy that I give that I know he's somebody. I don't know who he is, but I know he's somebody, right? And my aura is inspirational. My aura is motivational. And so because I am, right, I'm being inspiration, I'm being motivation, now everything I do is inspirational and motivational. If
like
I write
said,
books.
your greatness is on display.
That's it, G-O-D. If you know, you know. Greatness on display, right? I walk in, I'm made in the image and likeness of the Most High God. So I'm the greatest. And when you walk in there with that energy of being, then anything you do, there's a being attached to that. So I tell anybody watching this, you just gotta be. I'm not gonna overcomplicate it. There's something that everybody comes to you for. Figure out what that thing is, and then now just start doing, whether it's reading books, whether it's joining mentorships, whether it's listening to podcasts, put yourself around people that are doing stuff and match your being with the doing, and then make some money.
Yo, you going crazy. You wrote this shit down?
Yo, you know what I mean?
You knew the questions? No, I appreciate you, bro.
Yes,
I do want to just some business stuff real quick. Curious, you being so successful, right? I'm just curious of why sign with another network, Earn Your Leisure, right? Because Inside the Vote is on the Earn Your Leisure platform on YouTube. Yeah. Why not do it by yourself? Yeah,
so for me, and we talked about the collaboration thing, I was actually one of their early shows, you know what I'm saying? And so I don't like to reinvent the wheel. By the time, so I did radio in New York for about 4 years.
Where?
In WACR. Okay. So it's a community radio station, 90.3 FM. And so I did that from 2014 to 2018. I moved to Atlanta 2018. And I didn't want to do like podcasts or whatever the case may be. So I started looking for other radio stations to be in. That never worked. So at that time, I was talking to Rashad. They was about to start Earn Your Leisure Network. I interviewed with them. I was episode 26 originally. And then I just started seeing them take off. And then they did the first show, which was Market Mondays, and that took off. So I said, man, these boys realize how to create a podcast network. And so I was in the process of starting my own show. I was going to start Inside the Vault. And so I hit Rashad up, and I was like, yo, bro, I'm about to start this network. I'm about to start this show. And he was like, yeah, we about to start a network. I said, word? Because I wanted advice. I'm like, yo, how did y'all blow so fast? And he was like, yo, we about to start a network. So I said to myself, yo, bro, at the end of the day, if y'all got the formula and all I got to do is record and be the talent, why not? Right? And so I was like, yo, y'all looking for talent? They was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? They would give me the whole vision of how they're going to sign all these people or whatever, and they're going to grow to this thing. And so I signed with them early. I think I was the second show that signed with them. So I think I signed in 2020. And so really I didn't realize, I realized that it was going to be successful, but I didn't realize how successful they were going to be. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, it just kind of worked out where I was just looking at it as a way to have like exponential growth, like kind of get plugged into a system that already exists instead of trying to build my own. And it worked out, you know what I'm saying? Worked out, you know what I'm saying? I still had like, and I still do. I still had like connections, and I was able to get some great guests. Like my first guest was Candy Burris. My first guest that I had. And I mean, at this stage of the game, though, I am building my own YouTube channel, right? Because I do realize that as they continue to grow, You know, and those are always going to be my brothers, but I also want to, you know, stand on my own though. I do want to get to a space where when people think Inside the Vault, like Inside the Vault is Ash Cash and not necessarily EYL, right? Because and I think that's the pros and cons of it, is that you can potentially get swallowed into somebody else's brand where you know, people are like, yo, yeah, you the EYL guy, you know what I'm saying?
Right, nah.
Or people be like, oh yeah, you the Vault guy, you know what I'm saying? And not that, you know, I'm Ash Cash, you know what I'm saying? And so I am in the process of building my own channel, but when I first started, it was just one of those things to say, you know what, instead of trying to figure out this podcast game on my own, let me just go with, you know, somebody, you know, with a team that already know how to do it.
I feel like in there both can work. I was just talking to my friend. He does like radio. He just got hired by, I think, Empire or whatever. And he came in, he was like, yo, Jay, like, bro, like, you got it going on. You got all these guests and you do all this is you.
Yeah.
On a contrast, like, he got to wait for people to say yes and things like that.
100%.
But I was telling him, like, it's funny because it's so easy to look at what you don't have and compliment that.
Yeah.
When it's like, bro, like, you have no idea. I look at you like, I wish I had
right.
that.
100%.
Right? And I'm just curious, do you do that if you had to start over? Or, I don't know, what's your take on, like, signing to a network versus, like, doing it by yourself?
Yeah, I mean, again, to your point, it's like there's pros and cons. It really depends on what your ultimate desire is. Because for me, if I had the opportunity to do it again, I would probably still sign, right? Because when I think about the exponential growth that I've been able to have with the visibility, I'm not taking that back, right? Like, I don't know if I'm doing 10 million. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm doing 10 million last year if I didn't have the visibility I had. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's the, so I prime example is because of the visibility, I throw my own commercial in my show, right? And so I got 5,000 people who are opt-in to my program from watching my show. It don't matter who I interview, I'm always opting in. So now all of these 5,000 people are qualified people. So if I'm selling them a $20 or a $40,000, $50,000 package, I only need 200 people to make, you know what I'm saying? Like to make a bag. And so for me, it was sort of like, you know what I mean? Like a no-brainer, right? I got $50,000 product. I get 200 people to say, yes, that's $10 million. You know what I'm saying? And so that level of visibility kind of helped because now, if, you know, I make $10 million, now I could hire a team. Now I could, right, exponentially grow my brand opposed to saying, all right, you know what? I'm going to build this thing on my own and I'm going to work my way up. That's fine.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, the way it worked out for me, you know, having access, you know, to a lot of subscribers kind of help exponentially grow my brand.
It's definitely two different beasts.
Yeah.
Like, because I used to work for radio too. I used to do KYS in DC. And I was just, like I said, I was telling my friend, we was having a conversation. And I was like, you have like, let's say for sake of conversation, you got the Joe Budden route and the like Charlemagne route, right? But neither one of them is wrong. Because
they both
ghosts, right? So like you got Charlemagne, he came up doing radio, right? And he was able to build his brand so much off the radio that he can now do his own thing, Black Effect, right? And he can get the support from them, right? And you got people like Joe Budden, like he was always disruptive, but he was able to be so disruptive that he made it work for himself and he got people to believe.
100%.
But it's two different beasts.
Exactly.
So it's like I was just curious to your thoughts.
And I think ultimately though, and this is what I want everybody to understand though, you have to be good though. Right. So it's not like me being on EYL is not the magic pill. It wasn't like, oh, because he's on EYL, that's why he got 6 million views. Nah, he's good. And now you take a good product and you put it in front of people, it's gonna go. You know, because I mean, no disrespect to no other shows, but there's 7 other shows on the network. Yeah. And not all of them are doing the numbers. You know what I'm saying? And why? Because, and I'm not saying they're not good, but the audience has to be there has to be this thing that is drawing the audience. You know what I'm saying?
No matter what. Because
no matter what.
Even like shit, let's take that out of it because I don't want to get too personal with you, but let's look at Revolt. Revolt have hella shows.
Exactly.
Every show is not Drink Champs.
Exactly.
Every show is not Carissa Please. You know what I'm saying? Like every show, you have other shows on Revolt that don't do as many numbers.
Exactly.
You gotta have.
So
something
you gotta like it, and then that's the other thing though too is that, and that's why I talk about work ethic though. Like I'm consistent though. Like I drop an episode every Thursday at 8 p.m. It does not matter. I'm so busy. I will shoot 12 episodes in 2 days just so I can have shows lined up, right? And so I go hard. I take like my production is top. Like everything I do commercials, I do teasers. Like I do this for real. Some people just record and drop. I'm recording, I'm teasing, I'm promoting. I really do this at a high level. And so that's what has allowed me to get to this space where people are, falling in love with Inside the Vault. And so I think that, I mean, music as well, right? Yo, you could be signed to Def Jam and you could sell 0 records.
That's a fact.
Or you could be signed to Def Jam and sell millions of records. It's really about the talent and it's how do you use the access, right? And so if you sign to a network, how are you going to use that access to get you to that next level? If you don't sign with a network and you do it yourself, how are you creating a cult-like following so that people love you, right? Because that's the difference. Charlemagne, he's used the access that he has to be able to make money. Joe has created a cult-like following. Like people, like Joe got a million people every week listening to his joint. Yeah. So he's created this cult, and it's the methodology that changes.
Nah, man, I appreciate all the game, man.
Yes,
the
sir.
wisdom, the motivation. This is truly special, bro, for real. I appreciate it, dog.
Yes,
for the people that don't know how they can follow you, how they can support you with the books or support any of the classes that you got going on, support the podcast, everything.
Yep. So first, for the podcast, I need everybody to go to InsideTheVaultTV.com. So that's InsideTheVaultTV.com. You go to my website, IamAshCash.com, and follow me on all social media platforms at IamAshCash.
Yo, how much you charging for a book, bro? To ghostwrite a book?
To ghostwrite a book, 25.
25,000?
25,000, yeah. So 25,000, ghostwrite the book. 50,000 if they want me to ghostwrite the book, but also create, a business behind the book. So why should somebody write a book? Should anybody just write a book? I think that anybody who has a level of experience and wants to build a 6 or 7 figure business and be remembered forever should write a book. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, at the moment that God calls me home, right? We all gonna die someday. When God says, "Yo, Ash, you did a great job," it's over. My name lives forever. Right? I got 14 books. I've touched so many lives. People are always gonna have access to my knowledge, access to my wisdom. When people think about legacy, they only think about the money that they leave. But I'm thinking, what is the knowledge that I'm leaving behind? So I think everybody should write a book because it just takes them to that next level. Like if somebody says, yo, I got this former banker who wants to speak to you. That sounds dope. But if somebody says, yo, I got the author of Mind Right, Money Right, 10 Laws of Financial Freedom. Yo, that's just a different, you know what I'm saying? It's just a different ring to that. You know what I'm saying? So I think everybody should write a book. But again, I think it's really about how do you take your story and figure out how does that story help people? Because once that story could help people, that's how you build a business behind it.
Sheesh. Ashcash, everybody. J Hill Podcast. It's a wrap. We out.
Yeah.